So we are here at the EV Café Takeaway podcast. That podcast focused on a zero-emission future that we all hope for. Now, this is an EV Café Takeaway with a difference because we're recording it live in front of an audience, and you can already see that I've got the lovely JC with me. Say hello, JC.
Hello, JC.
But most importantly, we have got an innovator, a pioneer, a collaborator in our industry, really driving. It's got an imposter syndrome, clearly, for those of you who didn't see that. Sarah Gray, Dawson Group Vans. Welcome to the podcast, Sarah.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Sarah, for those people, those poor people that do not know the wonderful Sarah Gray that we know, tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Cool. Okay, so I'm Sarah Gray. I'm the head of zero-emission vehicle strategy and development at Dawson Group Vans. Been there about 2 years, and really I joined Dawson Group to support our customers' transition to EV, because in commercial vehicles there are some little challenges, as we know. So I've been in this industry, not necessarily van industry and decarbonisation, but I've been in the automotive industry for 20 plus years now.
Wow.
I know I don't look old enough.
No, I know, I was at child labour. I was just going to go on my standard child labour line.
Yeah. But so I joined Dawson's a couple of years ago, but I've been in the industry a little while, and I've kind of, done various roles, which we can come on to if you'd like to hear that.
We do want to hear that in due course. But so tell us, because a lot of people say we fell into the automotive industry, we didn't choose it, it chose us type thing. Tell us, how did you get into the industry? And then I'm going to let John get a word in edgeways.
Shall I tell you how I fell into the industry? I fell into the industry. I actually, when I left school at 16, I didn't want to go to any other education. I'm not really academic, I'm more theatrical, I'd say. Doer. So when I left school at 16, I just wanted to work, and I worked in Topshop, and I worked for Faith Shoes. So I was a concession within Topshop, and I sort of fell into this role, and it was all about just sell shoes, and you'll get a target and you'll get extra cash. And I was like, woohoo! So that's what I did. But into the industry, I was an implant within Topshop, if you like, for Faith Shoes, and then a role came up within a company called Lee Strive, who Zenith acquired a little while ago. But and there was a job called like an implant manager for rental. So I thought, okay, so I work for a different company, but I'm based in this different company, and it was kind of similarity. Is that a word? Yeah, it was similarity. Yeah, so it was like, okay, well actually I'm going to try this because I wanted to get into the office. Retail was great. I love retail. I love people. So seeing different people every day, fab. But it was weekend work, and it was, retail's a different ball game. So I thought, right, I'm going to get an office job. So I fell into an office job, and it just happened to be in the automotive industry. And I've loved it ever since. I did have one try at getting out of the industry, and it didn't work. So when I was at Lease Drive, I'd been there for about 7 years as an account manager, and I had some great customers. I had like Marie Curie Cancer Care. I had, who else did I have? Orange, T-Mobile, so a few different big companies. Ericsson was one of my customers. I had some great customers that went, at Lease Drive. But I thought, you know what, this might not be the everything. So I thought, right, I'm going to try something else. So I actually got a job at Barclays Bank as a business manager, looking after like local accounts. So one of my customers, for example, was an asset management company who run a fleet. So I was like, yeah, this is exactly the same. This is going to be great, brilliant. And I remember me and Roger, who was the owner of Lease Drive, we went up to London one day to go and see Marie Curie Cancer Care. I'd busted out. And he spent the whole day trying to persuade me to stay and say, you'll hate Barclays, you'll hate it, it's horrible, you won't want to just stay where you are. And I said, no, I've got to try it. I think, it's time's up. Been here 7 years, time's up. Only for Ibony, I hate it. So I went to Barclays, but I was only there a few months before I fell pregnant with my daughter. She's now 14. So I sort of got through Barclays, had some maternity leave, and then when I came back, I got back into the industry, which once you're in, you're never out, are you?
You can sit out, but you never leave.
If you operate a fleet of cars or vans, you'll know electric is the future. Transitioning to EVs can appear daunting, but with Europe Car, it's effortless. Our long-term EV rentals eliminate the upfront costs, contract commitments, and uncertainty. Instead, you'll get total flexibility, a wide choice of cars and vans, and Europe Car's expert support. So, make the switch without the stress and experience Europe Karma. Search Europe Car Business.
Now, you're an award winner I mean, you are seriously good at what you do. What made you choose Dawson as the home for Sarah Gray?
I think I was at Revis before, so Revis Fleet Solutions, which was fleet management, garages, 78 garages up and down the UK, and I really loved that. And actually, I had a really good manager there that kind of pushed me to, so far, like beyond what I thought I was capable of, sort of thing. And actually, there is a story there. So I sort of said, I think we should run some EV days for our customers and get them in and talk to them, have a bit of a, lunch and do some events and this, that and the other. And my boss was like, yeah, great, go with it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, okay, brilliant. And then I thought I host these people, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've never done this before, public speaking in front of people. I don't really know what to do. So I thought, I know what I'll do. I've actually phoned Lorna McAteer, who was one of my customers at the time. I was like, Lorna, do you want to be a host for me? She's like, Sarah, whatever you need, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll be your host. So I said to my boss, do you know what? We're going to have Lorna. He went, no, you're doing it, Sarah. You're doing it. I was like, okay. Yeah, so fine. So anyway, Revis absolutely was great. Pushed me beyond my limits. So sort of capable, if you like. It's just, pushed me outside my comfort zone. But then that all came to an end and I was made redundant. And I found myself in a position, it was actually really horrible. Like, I've never been made redundant before. And you see it on LinkedIn and you never really understand the pressures and how horrible that is. But yeah, after just 2.5 years at Revis, I was made redundant. And it was a month before I turned 40, so it's actually a blessing in disguise. I got a whole month off for my birthday. But and then I had this period of time where I thought, I don't know what to do next. I want to stay in the industry, but I'd sort of done rental, I'd done garages, workshops, I'd even done a little bit in accident management for a law firm, which is a bit random, and been an account manager, been a consultant, and I just didn't know what to do. So when I was on sort of garden leave, if you like, I actually reached out to a business manager, like a coach, and she was bloody brilliant, actually. Her name was Jenny. She was so good. These people have got such skills, the way they sort of help you understand what you want to do. And I sat down with her and, went through, and I said, I've got to get another job now. I don't really know what to do, but and I don't really know what I've been doing for a couple of years. She was like, what do you mean you don't know what you've been doing? I was like, well, I haven't really done anything anymore. She was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, I haven't done anything. She was like, right, okay, let's just understand, what have you actually been doing? And I went, well, we've got a team, so we've installed charging infrastructure into 20 of our garages. We've got this EV Academy now where people come and do shows and this, that and the other. We've built a consultancy tool for TCO and electrification, decarbonisation, this, that and the other. And she went, right, so what, you haven't done anything? I was like, yeah, but I don't do it. I haven't done it. I don't do it. I just sort of help people understand what should happen. Well, she went, wow. I was like, what? She went, you don't understand what you've done here. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so that was actually really good. But through that process, she kind of helped me understand what I was good at, what I should be looking for. And then when I went to sort of into market, if you like, and thought, right, what's my next role? I sort of knew that I wanted decarbonisation, I wanted a leadership role, and I wanted, what was the third thing?
Money?
No, yeah, money, definitely money. Lots of it, as much as you can get, yeah. No, more like product development as well, because where I've been, I've always developed something that supports someone. So, yeah, through the business coach, so horrible time with Revis. I've just talked about that for ages, but anyway, sorry. Horrible time with Revis, sort of 2.5 years, great, made redundant, used a business coach, identified 3 things I wanted. When I was looking, I was clear on what I wanted, and that was what Dawson's could deliver. So that's why I'm at Dawson's.
Wow. That's a heck of a journey. And I just wonder, and you think about this one, I wonder if your classmates at school could see you now, would they recognise you? Because I got a sneaky suspicion you have always been a bundle of energy and naughtiness. Am I right?
I've always had energy. Definitely always had energy.
And the naughtiness?
Yes. I mean, if I was at school now, they probably... I mean, they think I'm a chief flagger, and I think I'm a chief flagger as well. And they're like, what do you actually do? And I'm like, I don't know what I do anyway. But I wasn't very good at school in terms of great grades and academic or anything like that. But I would give everything a go with 1,000% and just go for it, if you see what I mean. So I think, my friends would look at me and go, you've done well, but I've absolutely no idea why.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, we're sitting here with you now, and people that are watching can see the energy and the passion and that enthusiasm. And honestly, the only qualification I have is enthusiasm. I mean, I've got nothing else. I've been to school, terrible. But I think if you apply yourself to something, you do it. What what gave you the passion to follow like the decarbonisation bit? Where did that grow from?
So I joined an ALD, and I was a consultant for ALD. I was there for 7 years, but when I joined there, it was more about like policy making and total cost of ownership and finding the right vehicles that fit the fleet policies and stuff like that. And then sort of during my 7 years there was this massive shift to electric vehicles. And then it was like, because I was a consultant, it was like, you have to understand this, you have to know what you're talking about, and you have to help our customers. So it's just a process of kind of like the consultancy role, even though I was there in the same role for 7 years, it changed massively. And I think back then when we was looking at fleet policies for cars at the time, ALD, he was looking at fleet policies, he was like, oh, there's 10 electric vehicles that you can choose from, so let's do a TCO on these 10 available models and see which one fits. And now it's just, I mean, I don't even know half the cars anymore, so I don't really I can't keep up with it all. But yeah, back
Cars
then,
are boring.
yeah,
We don't care about cars. Vans.
Vans, yeah, so that's kind of how I got onto the decarbonisation.
Yeah, bye, John. Do you know what? I mean, why Vans? What attracted you to Vans? Because I mean, we're a really unique bunch. We're quite a niche group of people that care about Vans and see the value of Vans.
Yeah.
Well, how did you get there?
So at ALD, I did a little bit with Vans, so not much. We had Russ, our van rack. So Russ cracked on with the Vans usually, but I did have a little sort of, you know, when we had fleets that had company car schemes and Vans, I'd get involved in a little bit. But it was after ALD and I decided to make a move to Reverse. That was again sort of throwing myself out of my comfort zone. They were commercial vehicles, so it wasn't just light commercials, heavies, buses, coach, all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So I just thought something different, a bit more challenging for me. And then as you get into it and as you start sort of getting towards the end users, people actually using these vehicles, and you realise the whole place will not operate without a van. Do you know what I mean? If you took vans out of our equation, it would just come to a standstill. So there's such a unique, like, I don't know what it is. It's like a, I don't know, it's a value, isn't it? It's just like, it needs to happen. We need to help people on their vans. And once you've seen how much like a one-man van is reliant on that piece of equipment, that four tyres that go around, it's just, I don't know, it's just fascinating, but sad, isn't it? So sad.
Well, I don't think it's sad. I think it's really kind of cool. And then obviously Dawsongroup Vans believe that, you know, with Simon and the team, everybody in that business are like focused on delivering the van dream. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. That value piece is so important for our economy. I did some like rudimentary maths, right? And I reckon that the value of the van community to the British economy each day is 1.5 billion.
That's almost his salary.
But Sarah, you love a challenge. Where did that passion to take a challenge on come from? Were you sporty as a kid? Was it something that you? But where's this desire to be challenged come from?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I think I've been with my husband for 25 years.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, that's a challenge. There's one. But I got with him when I was 16, and he is literally like my biggest chair. He knows that I will not stop, if you know what I mean. And he really encourages me. And just going back to those lease drive days when I sort of got that role, I was in lease drive and I was customer services at the time. And then account manager role came up, and I was only 21 at the time, so I said to Ed, there's this account manager role and they're advertising for it, and I'm sort of thinking of going for it. And he was like, why aren't you going for it? And I was like, I'm 21. He was like, and just go for it, you can do it. And he literally pushed me, and I thought, all right, I'll give it a try, yeah, I'll just see how this goes. So Roddy Graham was the owner of the business at the time, and he interviewed, plus one of the sales managers and the new business development director. We had to do a presentation. I've never touched PowerPoint in my life because I haven't need to, so absolutely, it was awful as well, this presentation. It was so bad, but we had to present on why we sort of won the job and why we think they're capable of doing the job. And I think, yeah, I mean, I luckily I got the job anyway, so I basically had to present and say this is why it's good for me. And I did actually come up with 3 little things, which was thorough, committed and enthusiastic. And all through the whole presentation, I just kept dropping those 3 things: thorough, committed, enthusiastic. And at the end, I said to Roddy, is there any reason, like, you know, you got any reservations about me getting this job? And he went, first of all, when you came in here, I knew you was 21, and he said, I thought that was going to be like a no-go. He goes, take age out of it, and there's absolutely no problem. I was like, when do I start then? And I was like, And I think from that point, it's like I could prove to myself, you know what I mean? Wow, I've got this, bloody hell. And I just carry on with that momentum. I don't know where it comes from. It's just like a drive. But my husband's like, you can do it. Of course you can do it. Do it. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
If you believe it, it can be done. Now then, you've been around a bit, clearly. Well, you've been in the industry practically your whole working life.
Pretty much, yeah.
You must have learned a few things along the way, and we're at a point now where commercial vehicles are a challenging proposition to electrify, certainly in that light commercial space. What are the hurdles that you see fleet managers coming to you with, and how do they overcome them to get on that journey, to do one thing, start?
Perfect. Yeah, I think, to be honest, if you asked me that maybe 2 or 3 years ago, payload, everyone whinged about payload, didn't they? And, can't carry it, we need to carry it. And now that is literally out of the conversation. No one worries about that anymore. It's just like, it doesn't even come up in conversation. What does come up in conversation is productivity and making sure that van is earning the money. Because if that van's not working, it's not earning money. So I think the biggest challenge is the charging infrastructure. So if you've got vehicles that go back to base, sit there for 10 hours a night, happy days, it's so easy and you can just make it work. Vans go home, you might have a portion of your fleet that charge at home or can charge at home, great. But actually, I reckon it's probably 75-80% of people with vans, if they take it home, that can't charge at home. So that's the biggest challenge, infrastructure. And if this van needs to sit around, and we're still at this stage where people are learning so much. So you sort of like take it for granted that everyone can make these vans work. We know that they will work. You will be able to get on the charger and stuff like that. But if you're a fleet manager, transport manager, someone that's operating a fleet of vans, you can't afford, and you still believe that people might be sitting there for 3 hours, 2 hours, an hour charging. So once you can kind of get over some of that charging, worry, then I think you've got one of the biggest hurdles. Over one of the biggest hurdles. And I think with some of the sort of support that I'm doing at Dawson's is giving people that opportunity to try. And what I don't want to do is just give them the keys and sort of say, have a try, because it will probably fail. But actually, let me come in and see you. Let's have a chat. Let's understand how you operate. Where are these vehicles stationary? What's the opportunity for charging? And then once they get a bit more comfort and a bit more, confidence, you can just see it skyrocket. And I think it's just like this snowball. There's all our mega fleets. They would have started somewhere. They would have started maybe, you've got 10,000. You might have started with 100, but still, it's something. And then they learn, and then they get momentum, and then before you know it, we'll be on a cruise somewhere, and everyone will be in electric. We'll be happy days.
I love that. But it's right, isn't it? Confidence.
Yeah.
And I love, do you know what, there's a sign in sign language. I know a little bit of sign language from, I had a deaf niece, and the sign is, you put the C at the bottom of your tummy and it comes up like this, and it's a really just growing in confidence, and it's a really great sort of visual picture of growing confidence. But I think that C is on the way up, isn't it? The confidence is growing. People are getting bungs on seats, trying. The TCO, or total cost of ownership, is beginning to stack up for people. But I mean, that productivity piece is a huge challenge. I don't think we're close yet to really squaring that circle, because I think one fleet cited around about £14,000 a year it was costing them in productivity. So even just at a rudimentary value of like 750 quid a day, it just like 14 grand across the year, and it's a lot of money for a fleet to leave on the table. Can you see anything that can solve this?
Well, do you know what? I mean, we've worked with one particular customer who's doing really well. They've got their ambitions. They want to have 60% of their fleet by EV by the end of 2027. They've got 600 vehicles. So they want to move quite quickly and quite rapidly. And I've helped them with the full plan of where they're going to do the charging, this, that, and the other. But actually, they've engaged other parts of the business which you probably wouldn't usually do. So, for example, parts, what do they call it? Like fast-moving parts. So where they'd usually carry certain equipment, they've engaged that partner and said, can you just come in and have a chat with Sarah and the team and this on how we actually do our day job? And what can we change? So rather than carrying parts, which you don't need, whatever else, okay, we know we need these parts every other day, therefore get them delivered. Don't go to your local somewhere else, Timpson, what are they called? Not Timpsons, can't remember the name of them. Travis Perkins, not Timpsons, they're the shit people.
Very different.
Yeah, they are, yeah. But engage with someone like that and have them delivered or have them ready. And it's just thinking outside the box sometimes as well. And I didn't necessarily think of that, but actually now it's just like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Why didn't we think of that? You know what I mean? Like, these things happen and you learn from them, and then you can apply them somewhere else, so someone else gets the benefit of it. But it's not just about the van and the man, it's the charging. And actually, what are you doing every single day? Where can we make these tiny little marginal gains, and then the productivity suddenly improves? You don't necessarily have to have downtime.
You're not just talking theory though, are you? Dawson Group have invested massive amounts of money in making sure that you walk the talk completely, that you generate your own renewables, you store it, you have chargers on site, lots of them, 32, and then you charge vehicles with that sunshine that's been captured.
Yeah.
You've done the hard yards. That takes a huge amount of courage. Did you drive that?
Simon, who's our managing director, you won't get anyone more excited than EV Van than Simon, to be fair. So he is absolutely. I joined just as he was in discussions about that project. And then when I joined, it was like, Sarah, you doing it? Thanks. So I didn't have the idea. I can't take credit for that. But absolutely, yeah, Simon was 100% behind that. Dawson's is 100% behind that. And we just need to deliver it. So the idea behind that is really, if we've got customers of a sizable fleet that have got some sort of issue with capacity, power, then actually let's show them what you can do, you know. And we've got so many vans, we've got 12,500 vans that will be decarbonised over the next however many years, and we need to charge them to get them out to customers. So we need a solution ourselves, you know. The end users, they're on their own here, we've got our own issues, so it's about solving them now, and we can apply that hopefully to customers and help them.
We saw that particular depot during the EV rally. And what struck me was that this was a busy industrial area where I wouldn't have expected to find solar canopies, battery storage. It came as a huge surprise, and it suggested to me that people who don't even think that way can do it if they want to.
Yeah, it's
They
true.
just have to be creative.
Someone came who lives in Milton Keynes, someone came to our EV day, because we had an EV event just before the EV rally arrived. So someone came to our EV event who lived in Milton Keynes and have never ever seen that depot or that site or anything before. So it's good to raise awareness, to run an event or something like that, but it does show what you can do when you apply something different. And it's, you know, it's difficult. We've got 12 different sites. I think 5 of them are owned. So Milton Keynes is one of our own sites. It's absolutely fine. You want to invest in the ones that we own, and then you get the ones that you lease or you rent, and then you sort of think, this is customer challenge again. You know, will they want to put this investment in or not? And if they do, landlords suddenly go, oh, do you know what? This is a really valuable piece of kit now, so therefore your rent's gone up. So there's all these challenges that our customers get, but you have to start somewhere. You know, that one site in Milton Keynes isn't going to operate for 12,500 vehicles. And if we grow as well, so let's get up to 16,000, 20,000, whatever, it's not going to work for everywhere. So you have to apply that, or you have to have different logic. So yeah, you know, you can make these things work. We are thinking about whether we should be opening those up to fleets at night and say, you know, we've got 30 odd vehicle chargers, do you want to use them? But there's some thought behind that about the back office system, how you're going to charge, and again, all stuff that our customers are going to be worried about. But you know, at the moment our sites are all locked up for safety measures. We don't want people stealing all our vans. No thanks. But you know, that's the sort of things you have to come up against, so we have to consider and think about. So all good fun.
It is good fun. And the future solutions, we talked a little bit about charging, the challenges of charging. One of them is that sort of charger sharing, and you kind of alluded to it there about kind of we can't at the moment open up the sites too easily. But do you see that as a solution that is coming forward for businesses as a whole? You know, that sort of charger sharing, energy sharing, so all the whole 9 yards.
I do, yeah. I think this is going to be. I think you've got a couple of examples in the industry now of people collaborating and doing that, which is great. You've got some really, really big fleets that are just going to have a challenge trying to, you know, remain productive if their vans are going to be on the road. We're going to have more organisations that have got the courage and the confidence to install the charging infrastructure, knowing that they'll have the utilisation. That's the point. You don't want to be putting it in places that no one's going to use it. It needs to be in a prime position, utilised, and then you get your payback. So I do think there's going to be a lot more of that to come. And I think, you know, it's just about, we always talk about collaboration, don't we? But it's about, you know, everyone understanding what everyone else is doing and how could this work? What can we do to make it work? Because, you know, sometimes it's easy to say, nah, well, actually, think differently. Like, what can we do to make this work? Ask a different question and let's see where we can get.
You had a really busy career. And you can obviously see a really busy career ahead. But I'm curious as to what has stood out for you across your career. Let's focus on career for the moment, but think personal life as well. But what are you most proud of so far?
I think, to be fair, I referred to that lady, that coach I had, the business coach, and I was struggling, so I was worried about what I should put on the CV because I felt like I hadn't done anything. And I said, done this and I've done that, and she said, well, you have. And I said, yeah, but I didn't actually install the charging infrastructure. I had a project manager that would come to me if she had a problem or if she needed more cash and say, Sarah, I need to blow the budget, can I have some more cash? This is the problem. I'd say, right, okay, let's do this and do that. And I didn't build the consultancy tool. I had consultants that built that tool for me. I just helped them with what we should do. And she just went to me, Sarah, she's hit. And this was like one of the best moments for me. She was like, you might not have done it, but you're actually naturally born leader. And I was like, what? Like me? She's like, yeah. She said, people spend thousands and hours on trying to become a leader. And she said, and you have got it in abundance. And I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, I'm doing something right. So that was like probably penny dropped, and I was really proud. Still feel like a imposter all the time. I still feel like I'm blagging it, but I've got an appreciation that actually I can support teams and people to grow themselves and get work towards a common goal.
I'm curious because I know there's many people that will be listening to this podcast, and many people that are around that know the imposter that they have within them. First of all, why do you think? But second of all, and I guess more importantly, really, because the why doesn't matter, because the why will change us all. How do you manage that imposter? How do you walk into a meeting with a CEO of this company, or your own bosses, or into a room, because you speak excellently when you're in a group setting as well. Any one of these theaters could be easily graced by your presence. How do you do that? How do you deal with the imposter?
I think, I'm always trying to, I don't want to disappoint ever. So, you have to make sure you don't, sort of thing. So I think I'm always kind of prepped in a way, but I'd always want to look back and have no regrets and think I haven't sort of done myself justice. So I think that's kind of the driving force. I think that's probably why, it just has to be done. You've got to get it done. You've got to do it right. So I think that's probably the why I can do it. And how I've got the imposter, I don't know. I don't know. I think I've always done well, and so far I haven't really ballsed up too much. Oh, it's been falling down over there.
I told you it would go, and it was your end.
Actually, it was at the time when I said balls up, and that fell. I was like, cheers. I don't know. I've just got this ambition to do things right, do things well, and not show myself up, I guess.
Not show ourselves up.
So let's look forward. You must plan to a certain extent. What's on the plan for Sarah Gray personally and for Dawson Group?
Ooh, good question. I think for Dawson Group, our ambition is to be the #1 rental supplier for electric vans. So if you want an electric van, Dawson Group should be your supplier. That's our ambition, that's our objective, that's what we're working towards. Anyone that needs an electric van, Dawson Group. There are other providers out there, but not as good as us. But we're funner.
We're not going to argue with that.
And I think for me personally, it's just, I love holidays. I literally live for holidays. And I don't think I'm destined to live in the UK. So at some point, I will probably move away at some point to the sun. I'm not sure sun works for. I don't like sitting around. I like being on the move and exploring. But yeah, I think I just want to have a really good career, make loads of cash, and have enough money to retire somewhere lovely.
So what is an idea of a good holiday for Sarah Gray and family?
Active holidays. So we've been to Orlando a number of times. In July I went to Miami. I loved Miami. It was the first time I've been to Miami. Such a cool place. Absolutely loved it. But yeah, moving around. I can't stand the thought of sitting about in a sun lounge or something for a day. That would just drive me insane. But just being active. I mean, the States, you either love it or you hate it, don't you? It's like cheese on toast. What I literally love US.
Somebody hates cheese on toast?
What?
What? Who is this mad person?
Yeah, no, I love it. So yeah, anything travelling wise, I'm happy to do it, and that's kind of what I live for actually. Most of my spare time, if I'm off work, I am away.
And active cycling, running, walking, what
Yeah.
all of the above?
All of the above, yeah. So we're mad enough. Me and my husband, when we got married 1,000 years ago, 15 years ago actually, but we actually went to a place called Pobla Santa in Lanzarote for our honeymoon, which is like an active sports holiday. It's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, where all the cyclists go to do their training.
They do, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's great weather all year round. But yeah, so that's what we like to do, stay active. I just sort of think like lazy in life, lazy in work, but don't be lazy, just get on with it and have a ball.
Wow, what a machine.
Exhausted.
We just get inside, haven't we?
So, listen, we could talk for hours. You've given us so much to think about, and I love that we've got to see you as well. We have a closing tradition.
We do.
We have a closing tradition.
I'm going to sing or something, have I?
Yeah, absolutely. This is karaoke. I think we might have to give you the singing. No,
don't
okay.
hear that.
So we have a closing tradition, and I really should have handed the one physically for the first time. Oh. Maybe we.
I'm nervous about this.
Here's one that is yet to be made.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
this a baton?
No.
Not part
So
of that.
right. So here is the EV Café magic wand. And we will hand. This is such a shame. I should have brought the damn thing. There you are.
Wow.
That's you've got to wave the magic wand. You get one wonderful wish. What would that? And just to give you the breadth of wishes. So we've had people having a personal chef, which was Adam Bishop, who is the brand ambassador for Iveco, on which stage we are on today. And we've had world peace more than once. But what would your wish be?
I wish I'd known this question before now.
Well, that was easy. There you go. We could have solved that.
This is going to sound really cheesy, but I just want my daughter to be happy, and that's it.
You can't ask for more than that. Kids are everything. Kids are very often the reason why people get into this in the first place, because it's for future generations.
Yeah.
You use your experience to help deliver a better tomorrow. Dawson Group, outstanding. We've visited it, we've seen it, we know that you are good to your word, and all I can say is you are a cartload of monkeys. I remember the first time I met you and thought, that is one scary lady who could think me into the corner easily, because she is as bright as a button and you scare the life out of me. And what I've discovered is that you are one of the most kind, generous, warm people in our industry, and we owe you a great deal. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you, John. That's lovely, kind words.
And Sarah, listen, I don't know when I came across you. I think I think I probably knew you in ALD because I used to work for ALD as well many years ago, and then certainly knew you in the Revis role and stuff like that. And I've watched you kind of grow in your kind of presence over these years because you're in my world, right? In the world of vans.
Yeah.
And you stand out as a woman in a world of vans as well, because there's less women in this world of vans than there is in the automotive world generally. But you are head and shoulders above us all in many ways because you are doing stuff. You really are. You articulate it brilliantly. We're very, very grateful for you and doing what you do. So your imposter syndrome needs to get smaller and smaller, and you need to grow and grow and just lift the sea. That confidence, which comes through in abundance, match your enthusiasm and your passion. It's wonderful. We love talking to you today.
Thank you so much. You make me cry. Can I keep the wand though?
Well, that's what I was about to comment on. You know, a highly intelligent, very capable human being takes a block of wood from a stranger and sits and cuddles it. Oh my lord, the power of the EV Café. Sarah Gray, Dawson Group, Paul Kirby, the EV Café, and below me, thank you kindly, love you lots, see you later, goodbye.
Thank you.
So just everybody connect with Sarah on the socials. Follow her on LinkedIn, and we'll get all your
See you in
social details. Where?
See you in Spain.
See you in Spain. Yeah, just check her out. She'll be there somewhere, riding up a hill somewhere. And also, of course, follow along for all of the other podcasts that we've recorded. Head over to our website there. And of course, if you need a new vehicle, you can get one through leasing.com directly through our site. Electric only searches for business-to-business vehicles. It makes every piece of sense. So enjoy the rest of your day, and until next time, have a great day.
See ya.